Hi everyone, it's Stephanie here and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to use some heat transfer vinyl with some of our Die-namics dyes. And where I currently am, it is freezing cold winter weather. We have a ton of snow, so I thought it would be fun to kind of create something summery with really bright colors. So I pulled out some dyes that I'm going to be using. I have a flamingo dye here. I have a palm tree from the Beach Scene Builder. I have the Bottlecap letters and numbers dyes. I'm going to be using those to spell out the word summer. And I also have that scripty hello dye. So if you're not familiar with it, heat transfer vinyl is a vinyl that you can heat set to different fabrics. So you can put it on cotton t-shirts or canvas, which is what we're going to do today. And when you apply the heat to it, it actually adheres the vinyl directly to the surface you're putting it on. Heat transfer vinyl typically has a glossy side and a matte side or a white side. The glossy side is the side that the carrier sheet is on. So when you actually heat set that, that top layer is going to peel off and you're not going to keep that on there. So when we're doing die cutting, we want to die cut into the glossy surface. So we want to make sure the glossy surface is pointing up and our die is pointing down directly on top of that. Now in this video today, I'm going to be using all Siser heat transfer vinyl. I get mine from a local supply store, but it's available in a lot of different places. So if you don't have any, you can just kind of look around and find some places that have it. And for our project today, we're going to be creating this little canvas pouch. Now I like to buy different things in bulk that I can use to create designs with my heat transfer vinyl. So I bought a bunch of these, I think on Amazon. It was like a pack of 5 or 10. And then I just have them on hand anytime I want to create a project. Okay, so I picked out all of my colors and I already went ahead and die cut everything off camera just so I had it ready to go for the video. And you can see underneath of me I have a little gray surface and that's just a heat mat that I can use to apply the heat. I also like to use a very small ironing board, but it was kind of too big to put under the camera for this video. So you can use anything that is heat safe that you want to put underneath the surface. So when it's time to bring the heat to your heat transfer vinyl, you need to make sure that you're protecting that vinyl. So you need to have something in between your heat source and then the vinyl that you have on your project. Now typically I would use a Teflon sheet, which is just heat resistant and it helps to transfer that heat and it keeps everything safe, but I didn't have any on hand. So I'm just using some plastic here. This is actually from my mink foiling machine. I know that it can withstand some heat. It does kind of get warped, but it works perfectly for this purpose. So what I'm doing is I laid that on top of my heat transfer vinyl just to show you. And then I have my iron already heated to the max setting. Since this is canvas, you want it pretty hot. And then you just want to put your iron directly on top of the canvas and press down. You want to put a lot of pressure on there. And you don't want to move your iron like you're actually ironing clothes. You just want to hold it straight down on the vinyl. Depending on what vinyl you're using and the surface that you are adhering it to will depend on how long you want to put your iron down on there. I put mine on this canvas for about 15 seconds and it adhered it perfectly. You can see now I'm using my tweezers and removing that carrier sheet and it leaves behind the design that we've created and everything is completely infused into that canvas now. And I just wanted to mention that I am in no way a heat transfer vinyl expert. I've only been using it for a couple of months, but I do find it addicting. I love being able to customize different items. But if there is different ways that you can be applying this that you find a little bit easier, then definitely do whatever works for you. But I found this worked fine and I didn't really have any problems except for one, which I'll show you in just a minute here. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the layering pieces and I'm going with the bottom pieces first and I'm adding those to my canvas bag. And then I'm going to add the top of the palm tree and the flamingo over top. So once again, I'm just continuing to use this plastic piece here, which is heat resistant. It does kind of, like I said, get warped, but it does withstand the heat. And this is just protecting any of that vinyl that I've already pressed down onto the canvas so that I don't mess it up with my iron. Now, when I did the very last piece here, which is going to be the flamingo's wing, I did it with a darker pink color. And for some reason, I don't know if it was just because too much heat had been applied to it, but the S in the word summer ended up getting a little bit warped. So I ended up going off screen and using my tweezers and pulling that off. It did take a few minutes because it's really adhered on there, but I was able to get it off and I did replace it with another S. So you'll see here when I lift my iron from putting on that flamingo's wing, the only part that I did kind of mess up was the S on that summer. So I just very carefully peeled it off with my tweezers and then I die cut another S and heat set it directly over top. So other than that, everything heat pressed perfectly. I have this beautiful design. I love how everything layered. It worked out really nice and I love the bright colors we were able to add to this bag. Now, the flamingo needs a little eye, and I didn't want to do any additional heat pressing because I had added enough heat to these vinyl pieces already. So what I did is I just used a little gem. I decided to go with an iridescent one. I really liked the look of it versus going with a really dark black one. And then I just adhered that directly onto the flamingo with some matte multi-medium, which will hold on there nicely. And you can see here, once I open the zippers and kind of put my hand in there and move the fabric around, how well that vinyl is attached there. It looks like it was something that was bought in a store. I just love how great this looks, and I love how easily customizable it was. It took me no time at all to create this, and it's something that you can create for a friend or yourself if you would like one, and you can have anything you want on it. And with the letters that we spelled out summer, you could add names or completely personalize it. Now, what is a pouch without a card? I definitely wanted to have a coordinating card to go with it. So I created the same flamingo and palm tree using the exact same dies. And then I used my Copic markers in similar colors so that they would coordinate nicely together so I could give this as a gift. I incorporated the coral that we used in the Hello die on the card base, and now we have two completely matching pieces that go together and form a really great gift that you can give to someone. And it screams summer with really bright colors, so at this time of the year, if you are experiencing this crazy winter weather, it's just something that will definitely brighten up someone's day. So I hope you got some ideas from this video on ways that you can use your dies with heat transfer vinyl, just something a little bit different and fun to try out. I will have all of the MFT supplies listed in the video description below. If you are interested in using heat transfer vinyl, like I mentioned, just check out a local craft store or maybe a sign supply store. That's where I like to get mine. As always, I appreciate you being here for today's video, and I hope to see you in another one soon. Thanks so much for watching.